Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. Okay, so this message has been coming through all morning. I've been sort of channeling it and working with it, peeling back the layers of the onion, if you will. And it started off very one way, which I feel like actually mirrors this connection that you've had with this significant other person that you were like courting or in a relationship with. It started off very one way. And then as things progressed and things started to happen in your relationship, but also as you started processing this psychologically, which may have actually, there could have been a delay to actually processing this for whatever reason. But I think both of those journeys for you, it started off very one way where you thought something was one way, like personality and what was going on was one way. And then as you kind of work through it, you realize, oh my gosh, this is something entirely different, and in a bad way. There's something a lot more dark and morbid and strategic going on than you were led to believe, and you're starting to kind of realize that that was maybe very strategic. And I just want to give you a heads up here in the beginning that maybe this is a trigger warning kind of space, so that you can make your decision about if you're ready to receive this message or if you want to receive it at all. I do want to remind you that you can click off of this message at any point in time, but there takes a very strong dark turn in the middle of this. I think you would probably already be aware of that, because I feel like maybe you're feeling like shit over this connection as you're kind of like working through it, but yeah, I just want to give you that heads up, okay? So now starting with this like actual message, okay? Like I said, this started off very one way, and the way it came through to me at first is, very normal and honestly very childlike, because I was seeing this game that we used to play in gym in my elementary school. So that could have been how you felt, around this person. And there is a group like around this person. And I feel like your feelings for this person that you had this connection with actually kind of mirrors your relationship with their friend group, or there does feel like there's other people here around that's like either between you, like maybe these are work friends, or you met at a place where you do like a similar hobby, so you have like kind of you felt like mutual friends, but these people are definitely siding on like this person's side. There's a stronger connection. Now you may have already known that like this is this person's friend group, or there could have just been a stronger tie or an association than you were led to believe, because there's some kind of like secret covert something here like between that association, right? Okay, so again, I think it applies to like all of these people, but we are talking about this primary relationship that I feel like you've been processing through. So like I said, I think it actually felt very childlike, and you might have thought that this person's personality was very childlike, very simple, easygoing, fun, casual, honestly reminding you maybe of simpler times, and because you felt like this person was just very open, and like that you could trust them, and that they liked you, and that there was like a mutual genuine interest, and there really wasn't all this baggage of like hidden motive and agenda and strategy. You certainly would not have ever in your wildest dreams assumed that was something going on. And part of that is because your own nature, and all humans do kind of have a certain level of narcissism, where in our childhood we have assumed that this is the way, our starting point, our jump off point for us getting to know other people and getting to know the world, is we kind of assume that other people are like us in some way. And I do feel like this has created a blind spot for you, because you are so sweet and you are genuine and you are innocent in your connections with other people. You genuinely want what's best for other people, and you present that way, and you know that that's authentic like through and through. So you would have had no concept for understanding that someone could maybe use that as like a weapon or something, use that as a strategy to block you from seeing the truth and the reality of what is actually going on here, which is something far darker and far more sinister. And it is happening, I want to say it's like psychosexual violence. Like that's what's like beneath the surface. That's a really big word, and it's a big term. And I don't want to like scare you off from the message or make you feel like this doesn't resonate, because I'm going to kind of like explain this here. So again, the way that this came through was like very childlike here at first. And I was seeing you playing this game that I played in elementary school, which is everybody would grab a bowling pin, like a single bowling pin. You would set it up anywhere in the gym, and then we would all get a scooter. Each one of us had our own. And the goal was you had to defend your bowling pin, because everybody was like throwing these balls around. You're trying to knock down everybody else's pins and stuff. So it's a very active sort of game. But I was picturing this as being like a partnership game, as a metaphor. And that bowling pin, I'm hearing that Taylor Swift lyric. It's like, love's a fragile little flame, it can burn out. And the bowling pin is like that fragile little love flame that can burn out between you and your partner. So I'm picturing that this is actually a partnership game, and you and your partner are supposed to be working to defend that bowling pin. And the premise of the game is really not difficult to understand. It might be difficult to protect your pin sometimes, but it's like not a difficult game to understand. If you're going to have hangups, you do not expect it to be in the overall like premise of the game, right? So I feel like I saw you, like you were playing the game and you're functioning. You know, you're defending your bowling pin, you're throwing the ball at other people's, like you're playing the game the way it's meant to be played here. And you look back and your partner is like whispering to other people. There's like a line, you know, and it's like, who wants to take a shot here? Like at our bowling pin, like, step right up, like, you know, kind of to the highest bidder. So I do feel like there was some kind of collusion, some kind of hidden agenda, and where that's like where this other group kind of comes in, like who wants a shot at this bowling pin, you know, who wants to knock this down? Like, I'll just let you have at it. And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. So you're like, stop. And that's where I picked up on this, where I feel like there was confusion here around what went wrong in this relationship. Because again, you're like, this is not confusing. Like, why were you not defending the bowling pin? And I actually feel like the reason is like for this, I think honestly for all of these people, I think they all kind of have this in common. But this person, let's talk about like this person that is your partner. It has to do with attention. Definitely. Like they wanted your attention. And so they, instead of approaching a relationship in an honest like way and building it the right way, they were somehow using this like collusion or strategy. They approached your heart with strategy. And this is, I wrote this in some other reading that I channeled, and it was like they approached your heart with strategy. And so where there should have been trust and intimacy, there wasn't anymore. Now there is strategy and mistrust, and it no longer is what you thought it was, but it's also nothing that you want. Like this person, I think it's a he, like has really just taken the romance away from you. That journey of like, this is special. And I, you know, it's that part of you that likes to cook breakfast for him in the morning. It's that part of you that likes kissing him and running your fingers through his hair, because everything is simple between the two of you and you are each other's protectors, and that's special to you, and it makes you want to invest emotionally in this. But he took that from you by involving all of these other people. And it does come back to attention. And I do feel like this goes back to childhood, where this person, it kind of reminds me of like middle sibling or like second sibling, especially like in a toxic family dynamic. I feel like there is something like that going on, and yours is kind of showing up maybe like older sibling or golden child in some way. Like it's that dynamic, that kind of sibling rivalry dynamic that's actually playing out, but this is like definitely in your relationship. So what I mean by that is I feel like this person didn't get enough attention as a child, or they felt like attention was a scarce resource. It didn't come to them naturally. They may have always had to kind of like act out. And I feel like this person had learned that the way that they get attention is kind of by dividing, by taking shots at their older sibling, or trying to sabotage their older sibling. They learned kind of all of that. And the reason that happens in like family dynamics is because typically the oldest child is the golden child. And so they're taught like, okay, well, this is like the way that you're supposed to be. And so they go about fulfilling that, and they very naturally get attention. It's that very like, good job, you know? And then that second sibling comes along, and I feel like that's this person. I don't know if they genuinely are a second sibling, but they have that energy, right? And it's like, well, how do I distinguish myself in this family? How do I get attention? They more than can live up to the expectations that have been laid out the same way that their older sibling does. But I'm hearing there's like a lot of, okay, well, do it like this person did it. Do it like your older sibling did. So they were always being compared to this older sibling. And in their mind, it was always less than and unfavorable. When as an adult, we can see, well, the older child is more developed, so they're able to accomplish things easier. And they're using that child as like an example of how to do it, you know? And that's like all that's really meant by this in a healthy family dynamic. But I feel like it was really internalized. So even if they did do things the right way and they got some level of attention from that, it would never be to the extent that like maybe the oldest child does it, you know? Or they found that they got more attention by making a splash, by maybe sabotaging their older sibling, by poking holes in that, you know, finding chinks in their armor, you know, or trying to actually sabotage them to where they would fall on their face and then they would get reprimanded or scolded. And that, I think, provided some kind of big energetic payoff to this person. But they always felt like kind of compared. And I feel like that really internalized in this person. So attention is like a scarce resource. And I think you mirror this. I think there's something about attention here and how you go about getting attention. And you have that more kind of golden child energy of like, you are like, well, we do things the right way. And then like we build things the right way. And I think they've made an enemy of this energy because like when you're children, you don't understand we're both a part of the same fucked up dynamic. We are both victims here. And we have developed very vastly different coping mechanisms through no fault of our own. And we actually could come together and be allies in this process and like heal this rift and heal this wound and learn different things from each other because, and I feel like that was on a spiritual level, the purpose of this. Like, they don't see your energy as being, they think you have a strong sense of identity. And I think that you don't, it's a bit of a kill the cheerleader syndrome going on here is what I'm trying to say. And what I mean by that is like, they see you as like the cheerleader. Whether you, I think it's crazy because I don't think you are the cheerleader. I don't think, it's like you're the popular kid. You're the older sibling. You always get all the attention and it just comes so easy to you because you're just, I'm hearing Miss Americana, miss. Yeah, Spirit's saying this is a missed opportunity to learn and to heal because they need to take a little more of that on in order to build things, in order to maybe be liked. Because they draw their power on dividing. That's what it is. Rivaling, dividing. It's kind of like the darker side of things. Dividing, rivaling, sabotaging, undermining, causing a splash, that kind of thing. And then aligning themselves with people who maybe also feel that way. If this is a male, it's very Walrus Clan. Like these are the males who feel like they're on the edge and that they have to fight for that. And they feel basically victimized for just being themselves. They feel like there's just something wrong with them, that they don't get attention or anything. And they haven't really tried to explore if that's true or not, like as an adult, or try to figure out where that comes from, or to be like, to get help for any of this. Like instead, it has become this, I want to say like psychosexual violence. And that's what played out here between the two of you. It's this kill the cheerleader thing where, even though your partner here really felt strong love feelings for you, they really do, and they want your attention. They were not honorable. They didn't go about that the right way, and they left you wide open to receive this hatred and this vitriol. And I do feel like there's something about your energy that's small, because I'm seeing these people laughing and like pushing you around, and you're crying like in the middle of the and they're like pulling your pearls off, and they're like, it's defiling. It's the energy of like defiling. And you'll notice though that this is kill the cheerleader syndrome. It's not kill the football player syndrome, because they would never do this. These men couldn't get away with doing this to a guy that's like 6'4" and has other friends that are 6'4", because they get put in their place hard. And there was something about, and here's what I'm going to catch in this. You are not the cheerleader. And I actually don't think you see yourself that way. I read your cards often, those of you that are here, and I actually pick up quite a bit on ugly duckling syndrome. And I feel like that's actually you and this masculine that you were attached to. Like, he is the walrus in the middle of the Walrus clan, and he doesn't understand it. And he's not functioning that way, because usually that walrus protects the female walruses. And he's not doing that because he still has this little man syndrome that he's associated with. And he still gets this, it's very Beavis and Butthead, this like stupidity, like, that just, lives and breathes. It would be very opposite of how you see him. And he doesn't understand that he's also kind of grown into this swan, and maybe he should be behaving like a swan. But I feel like that's been your energy. You're this kind of ugly duckling. I don't think these people knew you in high school. I don't think they didn't care to get to know you, because you represented something to these people. So it was very superficial understanding, and you definitely didn't realize you were fighting for your life the same way they felt. So there's actually much more in common between the two of you. Your way of doing that is probably just people pleasing, rule following, doing everything that you want. You are a victim of the same machine that they are a victim of. But these people did not get to know you as a genuine human. They did everything to you that they think society does to them. They are the villain, and they're unable to. They are the bully. I think that they think, the cheerleader and the football, like they're the bullies. No, they're the bullies. These people are the bullies, and they should be stopped. And if this is a group of men, they need to be stopped by other men, because they don't respect. They think you're little. There's something about you that they think you're little. They think that they can get away with this. That's basically what it is. And there's it's defiling, or like corrupting of innocence, or feeling like they're besting an energy that took advantage of them. But the thing is, you didn't take advantage of them. Not at all. But for some reason, these people just put you in a category. They made you a mascot. They reduced your humanity. And they made you pay for every single thing that they felt like society had done to them. And I do feel like it was a pressure valve. This is, again, if they're drawing from the dark, this is negative coping. They don't know how to cope in a healthy way. And it's never crossed their mind that maybe they should learn. And that maybe that's something that, like, these people, to me, they carry this, like, outcast kind of, like, vibe. Like, they think they're an outcast. And they think that society is outcasting them. Like, I would outcast them too, behaving like this. People are well within their rights to outcast this energy. They should. They're a danger. And they were a danger to you. And again, they fixated on you here in order. And so that, going back to what I was seeing in the beginning, this like childlike sort of thing. I want to point out, these people could only get close to you because these people weaponized friendship. They weaponized polite society. They weaponized connection. All the things that you love, they weaponize that against you. And the only reason that they could do that and get close enough to harm you is because you are not the cheerleader that they think you are. You are not pompous. You were not judgmental of them. You opened your heart to them. You considered these people friends. You would have thrown down for these people had they told you that they had a problem with anybody, that you had an opportunity to change their mind. You were their friend. You got to know them as people. That's the difference between the two of you. It's not cheerleader versus outcast. It's one person. Maybe you're this is what I'm getting. Maybe, I was thinking about this the other day too. I was like, I feel very lucky because a lot of the popular kids in my school were popular because they had very good social skills. Yeah, a lot of them were attractive and they did have money and they were on different sports teams and stuff. But honestly, they were some of the nicest people in the whole school. A lot of them were. And I feel very fortunate. Maybe I had a different like high school experience than a lot of people. But I feel like that's the case with you. And especially because, again, I don't think this happened in high school. I don't think they knew you in high school. I think this happened afterwards, where you're not bound by like the high school things. These people haven't moved on from it. And the reason you're popular and likable, they hate you because they like you. That's the weird thing. These people hate you because they like you, because you've made them like you. And they think it's a series of tricks. But the reason that I'm getting very clearly here that you are popular is because you're good with people. You are genuine. You care about other people. You're no longer in a high school fishbowl where you can kind of, yeah, well, you know, her parents like run the bakery in town and like, you know, it's, so that's why we all like her, because we kiss up, because then we can get free bake. No, it's none of that. Like you're making your own way here. And these people, because they're so fixated in that dynamic and very superficial categorizing of people. And again, like I said, they feel victimized from being themselves, and they gain power. This was in their family dynamic. They gained power and attention, and they made a splash, and they could rival their older sibling or something by dividing, by sabotage energy. And so that's what's playing out here. It's this old tape. And these people are ridiculous, and they are the bullies. But they can't see beneath the surface. And these are probably the same kind of people that are like, yeah, you know, they just don't get us, and they're like bullying. And no, that's not at all what's going on here. And so I feel like with this person, like there was some kind of like, again, psychosexual violence here, because not for everyone, like there can, okay, I'm going to say this, like, I don't know how to say this. Okay. This is where this might be like a little bit disturbing. You know, on the masculine side of things, I do feel like this is a group that's like associates sex with penetration. So it's like not, again, cooperation, foreplay, focusing on you, focusing on like, you know, the pleasure between the two of you. It's that act, that act, that it's like stabbing. It's like harming. It's like conquering. That's their view of it. And again, they've done the same thing again to you, where the things that you find to be so beautiful and so worthwhile, cooperation, friendship, they use as a weapon. They use, like, these are evil people, and I don't feel like they see it themselves that way, that they kind of deserve it. They deserve to be ostracized, because look at the way they behave. This is no longer about, they feel like society put them in a category. really, they got born second, and somebody was a little bit more able to understand words and things before them. That's really all that happened. Some of these people did grow up in toxic family dynamics, but again, they took all of that out on you. And I feel like there was an opportunity to heal here, because I think you actually need to be a little bit more divisive. Because what they don't understand about the whole golden child thing is that you're robbed of your identity equally as much. Because the only way that you receive resources and that you are accepted and that you are cared for is by playing the little game too. You're expected to give over your identity and to do everything perfect. And the training that you received validated that, much like the training that they received. So they're unable to see it from that broader lens. They just have made you an enemy. And I think it confused you, because the things that maybe usually work for people, because again, I think this was praised in you as a child, didn't work here. It actually made them hate you. And you don't get it. And it doesn't make logical sense. So, I hope you get it in the sense that like I'm able to kind of pick up on it here. But don't go too far into it, because it's crap. And like they need to be changing. And they need to really reckon with the fact that they have become. This is this victim, rescuer, persecutor thing. And they have become what they are the bully in this situation. The cheerleader was the victim. Here, and they've done that, and they felt justified in doing that. And I'm sure if you stood up for yourself in any way, then they were like, see, I told you she's a bitch. But there's what was on offer here is this healthy mirroring, because like I said, I think that you've had to sacrifice your identity on the altar of being ever perfect, and so you could use a little bit more of this divisiveness. And honestly, these people may be who you cut your teeth on by saying, and fuck you, by the way. And yeah, I can be a bitch. By the way, you want me to be the bitch? I'll be the bitch. Because they brought it out of you. This is like, they put you in a situation where you would have had to defend yourself. Like in some way. Because they're so wrong. So like it's brought that part of you out. I think you could have taken the path together. Where these people actually could have been like, you shouldn't let people talk to you like that. Or like, they're just, they know why people would treat you bad. These people do. Because they feel that impulse. They're just treating you bad because they've got you in a category and they're unable to see your humanity. And here's how you should handle it. I've been telling people to fuck off my entire life. That's what it should be. And then you can maybe, first of all, bridge the gap and introduce these people into places that you feel comfortable. People that probably would be very accepting. I'm hearing like, okay, karmically, I feel like a lot of these people's success and like happy breaks and stuff, it's through you, because you can actually introduce them to people that are like you. That yes, they fit into like societal norms and things like that, but they're not dicks, and so they actually like these people and like their personalities, and you would see it because again, you're popular because you're good with people. So you would see like, oh my gosh, you would fit perfectly over here. And I know this person, and you would have made those connections because you're just such a genuine person. So if these people treated you this way, they shot themselves in the foot. And it's just, they're receiving karmic repercussion because I feel like spirit put their success through you. Like they need to be nice to you. They need to be dealing with their own shit in order to be introduced to these people and to be put in these, because you're very good socially. So again, and you're not seeing these people as like the outcasts of the Walrus clan. You're seeing their strengths and you're seeing their personality and you're seeing their capability, and you would get to know them so thoroughly and so genuinely that you would just say, I have a friend who runs this company and I think you would be perfect for it. Would you mind if I mention that to him? Like that's you, that's your energy. But these people would rather punch you in the face and make you cry and take your lunch money and feel like justified and not heal. I hate this energy. I really do. And so I feel like there's a bit of, these people would not define sex as a beautiful thing. They don't use sex as a beautiful way. Not towards you anyways. Well, actually, I don't really think. I think it probably would be very underwhelming. If you, I think, again, very little foreplay or, at least as time went on, because that's their natural, like, nature. They don't find the beauty in it. And I think it's used as a weapon. Ugh. I just got a brief glimpse and then it like kind of left, but I got a whiff that like maybe that is part of like a family curse, like the making children in that kind of energy, or with that kind of chip on their shoulder is maybe what like furthers this feeling like in their gene pool, where like they don't need to, like, I think these people feel like awkward little ducks when they grow up, and it's like you could kind of get rid of that in your gene pool if you like fucked from a different energy to like create a family tree. And if you were drawn to partners for different reasons, like I kind of feel like they just kind of keep this going on where it's like this does not need to continue playing out. Like and I don't know anything about that, and like I said, I feel like spirit just opened up the door like a little bit to show me like there's some kind of karma involved here in like the genetics and in the intentionality and the energy by which maybe the families that they were born into, and then the way that they continue making their family as this kind of like, I don't know. It's weird because these people also like they want power and they want to be accepted by people, but then they always define themselves as being like antagonistic or obstinate or contrarian. And it's this chip on their shoulder that they don't ever want to take a deeper look at. Like maybe we're all just human and everybody was to a certain extent trying their best. Like I'm not excusing abuse. I think your situation very much mirrored theirs. I think you understand, like your upbringing, something that you've had to grow up through has mirrored theirs. And you got through it in a different way. You both have found different ways to kind of get through it, ways that could complement and help each other. And you'd be way stronger together. You and this entire group of people that just, and I'm so sorry you had to go through this. And if you feel gross, like because you fell for this, or you feel taken advantage of, because it was meant to make you feel that way. This was. It's just because these people couldn't see your humanity. They didn't feel like that's their job as a human being, to meet other people and to try and uncover their humanity, which maybe explains a lot about them. And I just want to say that you didn't deserve that treatment, and that nobody can take anything away from you, and nobody can defile you from the outside, which is what they kind of wanted to do. Nobody can do that. And I just want to say this as a person who has been through some messed up things in her life, and somebody who's been on a spiritual journey, a lot of that is realizing and kind of disentangling your real identity and ascertaining who that is. And you're not your physical body, and you're not your personality, and you're not these gross little weird categories that people want to put you in. And I think that hopefully, I'm just offering this up because for me, going deep into those avenues, I'm not my body, or the things that have happened to it, or the way that people have treated me, or whatever category people want to shove me into. I'm none of those things. Has really fueled my spiritual journey. And I think it could do that as well, where they may have introduced pain into areas that you are identified with. And wrestling with that pain is also grappling with your identity. And it's kind of, it can be fuel on your spiritual journey. And I'm hearing that Nicki Minaj song, they start coming and I start rising. Must be surprising. I'm just surmising. I win, thrive, soar. Let the fact that you always grow from situations be a mystery to these people. Because it has to do with an internal process. But these people couldn't get past your external to get to know your internal process. And so they missed out. They really missed out. All of these people. I'm game changer. There's like life-changing energy around you. And you never would have held it over their head or anything like that. This is just coming from such a genuine place. You really wanted to take the path together. And I feel like you're just the kind of person that always does. And you are beautiful, and that's the strongest energy in the room, which is why there's one of you and however many of these nasty little critters around you on an energetic level, is because it would have to, your energy is dominant. That's the strongest energy in the room. It's always harder to love. I mean, it's not that it's hard to love, but I'm saying like in some situations, it's harder to build that bridge, and to look at yourself and to do the healing work. And again, that's their own weakness. They can't grapple with themselves. And that's the main difference between the two of you, but they have to be able to get to that deeper level. And that was on offer with you. And maybe a lot of these people, I think they'll get dominated by somebody who is what they thought you were. And I just want to remind you that the only reason that these people could get close enough to you to do what they did is because you are not the person that they tried to make out that you were. So, fuck them. Anyways, that's what I have for you. If that resonates, I'm sending you a lot of healing love, and I feel like you can Tai Chi this in a way. You can kind of flip this energy in order to use it on your own spiritual journey. And it's kind of injected, like I said, pain into all the areas that you might have really been strongly associating your identity with. And moving away from them can help you uncover your true identity, your spiritual identity. So, all right. But only take that if it's helpful for you. If it's not helpful, if it hurts more, then just put that down. All right. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.